Skinflick, a Dave Brandstetter mystery, Book 5. Author, Joseph Hansen. Publisher, Open Road Integrated Media. Narrator, Eric Aust. In memory of Dr. Dreadful, who left too soon. Chapter 2. He dropped out of the expensive Hillcrest neighborhood, down twisting streets, past old apartment courts where doors were enameled bright colors and sported new brass knockers, where wind bells hung in the trees, and where lithesome young men in swim trunks clipped hedges or soaked down little sports cars at the curbs. Then another level lower, he passed rickety wood-framed houses in need of paint, where radios blared mariachi music through rusty window screens, and little brown Mexican kids swarmed in yards where no grass grew. He braked the electric sunset for a red light. Across the broad, curving stream of traffic lay the park with the little lake, the ducks in the rushes, the muggers in the bushes, the sunburned tourists rowing battered little skiffs and peering through instamatics at the glass skyscrapers beyond the tops of palms. When the light turned green, he swung left, making for Bethel Evangelical Church. But he changed his mind because the door of Lon Tucker's shop hung open under a red and white tin sign. Keyhole Books. It took a while to find a stilted street he could swing into and back up out of, but at least there was no parking problem, except for a corner Mexican grocery. The rest of the flat roof, one-story brown brick store buildings along this stretch held businesses that flourished only after dark. The carpet inside Tucker's place was thick enough to make it dangerous for anybody with weak ankles. It was gold-colored, flocked gold color. Wallpaper rose above the bookshelves. Gold-colored paint was new on a ceiling from which hung fake crystal chandeliers. Plastic-wrapped magazines lay back at 45-degree angles on low shelves. The color printing was sharp, but the subjects were monotonous. Spread legs, lace underwear, girls lifting massive breasts, while they leered and coaxed, or youths displaying bulky penises. No little girls, but then, this wasn't all the stock. A few feet further on, stairs carried the thick gold carpet upward between frail wrought iron railings. Thumps seemed to be coming from there. Dave went up. Fake fur-covered deep square chairs on wood-grain formica coffee tables glistened green bubble glass ashtrays. Here the shelves were packed, except for those already stripped by the youngster with knobby elbows who was dumping magazines, big picture books, and paperbacks into cartons. He was sweating so hard, his shoulder-length blonde hair looked as if he'd just brought it out of a swimming pool. He didn't wear a shirt. Pimples the size of boils flamed across his coat hanger shoulders. He winced at Dave for a second before turning away again for more books. Ah, Christ! Did she leave that door open? Look, Dad, we're closed. Forever? Dave asked. You got it. The boy dumped a stack of magazines into a carton and worked at the carton flaps, tucking one under another to keep it shut. No more Keyhole Books. Not even a going out of business sale. Mort Weisskopf, over on Western's, taking the stock. What's the hurry? Dave dropped into one of the fur chairs. Money for lawyers. The skinny boy hitched at his pants. What do you know about it? Where do you come from? The company that insured Gerald Dawson's life? Yeah, the money's for lawyers. That son of a bitch goes right on making trouble, even when he's dead. You know, he came in here with a bunch of pot-bellied bastards from that church one night and tossed the place. Threw books all over. Dumped paint on the rugs. That was the time to get the lawyer, Dave said. We couldn't prove who it was. They wore masks. I mean, we knew, but the lawyer said they had alibis. They got this club at the church, right? They were all there on their fat knees praying for us sinners. It could have been 6 other people, Dave said. Except Dawson was yapping orders, the kid said, quoting the Bible. Sodom and what's its name? All that shit. It had to be Dawson. Nobody else had a voice like that, high and gravelly and cracking all the time. But the lawyer said you couldn't get him. Dash across the street, tried it. The kid grunted. Squatting, heaping up magazines. The guy who owns the Oh Boy lives halfway up the hill. Sees a funny light outside in the middle of the night. Comes out. His VW is on fire. Sitting there in his driveway. On fire all over. He knew it was Dawson and his vigilantes, but no. They were having a meeting, singing hymns, shit. He heaved, tottering to his feet under a load of coated paper and dropped the load into another carton. And the cops don't care, you know. Fag bar owner's car burns up. That's funny to them. That's funny, right? A young woman in a man's white shirt that she'd tied under her breast and in very small white shorts stopped at the head of the stairs. She was honey-colored. We're closed for business, she said. She tried to lift the carton the kid had closed, squatting for it, trying to rise up. Jesus, what's inside, Briggs? We're not taking the building, are we? The skinny kid didn't look at her. You want the cartons half full? Say so. I don't want them at all, she said. This is Lonnie's idea. He gets so panicky. They lock you up for murder, the kid said. It's probably hard to stay calm. Are you going to load the car or not? You want me to carry? You fill the cartons. As she picked up the carton without seeming effort, her thighs were boyish and hard-muscled. If he didn't buy horses, he wouldn't need money. She turned with the carton and saw Dave again. You look like you could afford a couple of overpriced palominos. How about half a dozen? Come on, beautiful. It's for a good cause. The seat's too high off the ground, Dave said. He got up. Here, I'll carry that. She started to protest, and he told her, it's for a good cause, right? Her car was 2 doors off in a weedy, vacant lot, between brick walls spray-painted with street gang graffiti. The car was one of those $18,000 Mercedes sports models with the roof that dips. The trunk space was limited. She was going to have to make a lot of trips to Western. The kids say Dawson is the vigilante chief? We all say so, she said. But we can't prove it. The Straights went after the vigilantes when they ripped down the bushes in the park. Pensioners. Housewives with kiddies. They ruined their park to keep the fags out of the shrubbery. At 2 in the morning. At 2 in the morning. Who cares what's in the shrubbery? And they couldn't nail them. So what can us preverts and smut peddlers expect? She slammed down the trunk lid. Did your friend Lonnie take the short route? She stared. Her eyes were flecked with gold. What does that mean? Get fed up waiting for justice, Dave said. Eliminate Dawson before Dawson eliminated him. Replacing that kind of carpeting could run into money if you had to do it very often. You know what kind of a man Lonnie Toker is? The kind of a man that sets broken birds' wings. Hitler loved dogs and babies, Dave said. He's a big, strong guy. He could kill anything alive with his bare hands. A bull, an elephant. And Dave put a hand over her mouth. You didn't say that. Her eyes widened. Oh, God, no. I didn't say it. What I meant was, he's gentle. A big, soft, gentle dreamer. A lover. He loves everything that moves and breathes. He's dumb as hell, but he wouldn't hurt anybody, let alone kill. She looked at her watch. Come on, I have to hurry. Dave trotted after. It was too hot for that, but he did it anyway, shedding his jacket as he ran. At the top of the stairs, he asked the skinny kid, Was Dawson in here the night he was killed? Nobody was in. It was a dead night. About 5 stragglers, but nobody was here after 10. Just Lon and me. We played gin. Who won? Dave laid his coat on the stair rail. I can answer that. The girl had another carton and was halfway down the steps with it. Lon won. He wins any game you win by getting low points. She's right, the skinny kid said. He patted stacks of paperbacks inside a carton. He stood and treated himself to a look at a magazine, flapping the sleek, flesh-toned pages over, but not, Dave thought, really seeing the tangles of bodies in the photographs. The kid slapped the magazine shut and tossed it into a carton at his feet. He reached for the cigarette Dave had lighted. Dave passed it to him. The kid blew the smoke out appreciatively. He took another deep inhalation and handed the cigarette back. You know, he said, those creeps are hypocrites. You know? He tipped his head, frowning. Is that the right word? Anyway, what I mean, they cream themselves over this crap. They pretend it shocks them, but you can see from the way they lick their lips, they're practically coming in their pants. What kind of masks? Dave asked. Ski masks. I kid you not. They were drooling. They want to look at this stuff like anybody, only they didn't have the nerve to walk in and ask for it and pay for it and like that. Oh no. They toss the place, wreck it, make out all they want is Lon to get out of the neighborhood. See? I don't know, Dave said. Do I? Sure you do. We put the stock back on the shelves, and guess what? Some magazines are missing. The kid snorted a cynical little laugh and reached for Dave's cigarette again. Somebody couldn't control themselves. Pictures of little girls? Dave said. The kid squinted. Yeah, how'd you know? Just a wild guess, Dave said. Not all real little, the kid said. Up to about 12 or something. Creepy, though. Right? I mean, acting like they're Mr. Clean. He looked at the cigarette. You want the rest of this? Dave shook his head. The kid sucked in smoke and let it out with a question. What do they do? Pass them around at those prayer meetings of theirs? Did Lonnie kill Dawson? Dave asked. Over $10 worth of magazines wholesale? The kid bent and stubbed out the cigarette in an ashtray. Forget it. Over trying to wreck his business, Dave said. You don't know Lon. All he wants is to play his guitar and ride his horses. Does he come to work in the clothes he rides in? No way, never. Always right out of the shower. Always neat. What do you say? Crisp. You smell horse in here? Never. Look, he's stupid. But sweet stupid, okay? Not mean stupid. You should hear the songs he writes. They make feelings sound like a Nazai march or something, and what he never wants is trouble. Not with anybody. He picked a troublesome business, Dave said. To help people feel good nobody cares about. A kindly philosopher, Dave said. Yeah, well, the money's not that bad, and Lon hates to worry about money. It gives him headaches, the girl called from below. Car's loaded. I'm off. Don't drive under any trucks, the kid called. Did Lon go home that night? Dave asked. If he had something like her waiting for you? The kid jerked his lank-haired head at the stairs. Where else would you go? She wasn't there, Dave said. According to the police report, Karen Shiflett didn't reach Tucker's Topanga Canyon place until morning. She'd been with a sick brother at a hospital all night. He's a hype. He tried to OD. Yeah, so there's no proof Lon didn't kill Dawson. He set himself up, the kid said gloomily. Asshole. He should never have called the cops after that raid and told them it was Dawson. He couldn't foresee Dawson would be murdered. He could stop believing in uniforms, the kid said. Gay Mysteries audiobooks. I think it is easy to hate a label, but a face humanizes the word. So this effort is twofold. To offer comfort to those like myself that your world didn't end because you don't fit into the view of acceptable society on both sides. And in hopes of helping those with family that are LGBTQ, that it doesn't mean we are aliens from the child they once knew. Reassure them so they can maybe be supportive at the same time, being true to their values.